Hi everybody, it's Mike here for nerdgenius.com. You must forgive me, I basically just come back from a run, so I do a 10k run every day and did the same today, but I wanted to talk about something which is this, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Tencent produced 3 Mario games for their Switches, which is Mario Deluxe, Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart Deluxe. Now, someone showed me a video of a Chinese person who has a Hong Kong Switch attempting to play a Tencent game, but it wasn't loading. I didn't look too much into it. There was a couple of things that I had thinking about, like wondering if it was a certain thing that they were doing that was causing the Switch itself to not play the game, like there was no internet connection, or there was basically a situation where they loaded it wrong. The guy also licked the game, which, don't lick the games. I don't know why people do that. It tastes disgusting, and there is a chance that you could ruin the game with your saliva, so don't do that. Like, these are pins, it has contacts on them. It makes no freaking sense to me, so don't do it. Okay. So moving on to that, what we're going to do is we're going to perform a test, and we're going to use one Japanese game, which is Phoenix Wright, the Ace Attorney Trilogy, on both the common and the Chinese Switch. The second game we're going to do is Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. We're also going to show Animal Crossing, which is in Chinese, but apparently this was made in Taiwan. And then we're going to see what comes of it, if anything doesn't download, yada yada yada. The second thing we are going to do, because this will be a 2-part video, is I'm going to find and acquire a Tencent game so we can do this as well with that. I have a sneaking suspicion that that's not the case, that all games work on all systems, because these games are designed to be region free, which means that you can slip the cart into the system and the system will download the pack for your region. It is not like the PlayStation where you play Japanese only games on the Japanese store, PlayStation, blah, 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 or you can play Chinese games, or you can play all these games without the translations. This console, if there is a region copy of a game in your region, aka the UK, which is what this is set to, I get that region. The Ace Attorney Trilogy, which is in Japanese, I got it in a UK translation. Animal Crossing, which was in Chinese, which you saw in my last video, I got in a UK translation pack. It plays the game as if you purchased it from that region. So, let's get to it. I'm gonna switch the screen now, show you guys exactly what we're doing here, and then we will end the video after that. I'll give you some thoughts, end the video after that, and then we'll go to part 2 where we try the Tencent games as soon as I acquire a Tencent version of a Nintendo game. So, yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so we've got the Ace Attorney Trilogy installed on this console, and it's been rebooted. It resets the console as soon as the game first goes in. I don't know why. Now, it seems to work pretty well. There we go, okay. I believe the game is playing in Japanese, it's not actually playing in Chinese on this. I believe this is because there's not a Chinese translation of this game on the Nintendo Switch. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Now, the game we want to try is, so let's take that out, there you go. New Super Mario Bros. U. So I'm popping this in here because I currently don't have the case. I'm going to get that case back. Pop this in the Switch, and okay, New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Doesn't need an update, which is good. And as you can see, it's in Chinese. So it downloaded the pack for the Chinese version of this game. So it thinks that the game is the Tencent version of the game that's been distributed by Tencent. So it's going through all the modes. Yeah, that works, so we don't have to go too much into detail on that. Take that out. And let's try the next game that we're going to try, which is Animal Crossing. Again, this works on my common Switch. Apparently this is the Taiwanese version, but it still does it in Chinese. From what I'm told by translation, it's in Chinese, but apparently this wasn't developed and produced by Tencent, so it's updating the game. It's just loading. It's an annoying thing when your dog is in heat at the moment and you're not allowed to take her outside the apartment, only for when she needs to do her business. Because males will go after her. See? It's in Chinese. I haven't gotten really far on the Chinese version because I don't really play my Chinese Switch. I was also told that apparently Animal Crossing has been banned here in China, which I don't think is true. And again, Pokemon Sword and Shield, this is the UK one. It translates over to the Chinese version. Which the good thing about that one is though you can change the language on the game. You don't have to change it on the console. So, that was the Chinese Nintendo Switch. Everything is on there. That's the demo, so I can get rid of that now because I have the full game. So I don't need the demo. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Let's take that, put that to one side. Now let's try this again with this version. So, this is a common Switch. It's set to the United Kingdom. It has Wi-Fi on the Switch. Let's try Mario Deluxe. Boom, brings up Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Good thing is I got this for 249 RMB, which is around about £24. So it's actually a lot cheaper than you can buy it in the UK, which is £40. I think in the States it's about 40 bucks. You can see it's all in English. Let's play my favorite character, Luigi. Pretty much the same thing. Let me skip this. Oh yeah, we can't because the game's initially started. So boom boom, he's grabbing the castle. The addition to this game is Toadette. And she can update to a Peachette, I think it's the name. It's the one where everyone's had all the memes of Bowsette and all that stuff. This is where it came from. There we go. works completely and utterly fine. Okay, I'm going to regret that, I think, because now I'm going to have to start that all over again, which is fine. Right, so we now Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U works. That works fine. Let's try Ace Attorney. Here it is. It's in Japanese. I've been playing it loads, and you can only get the full cartridge version of this game in Japan. Great thing about living in Asia is you can get access to everything that is Japanese as well as Chinese. There's the Capcom logo. Press the A button. As you can see the difference here. I'm on Turnabout Goodbyes at the moment. See, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. That works. Animal Crossing. As you can see, that's in Chinese, but it comes up with the translated version. And it works. It's in its English translation, 1.2.0a. Do I think that the person who was going on about this, saying that the Tencent versions of the games do not work on existing systems, is lying? I wouldn't say that they're lying. I would say that they're probably physically inept when it comes to actually using these consoles. The one thing about the Nintendo Switch itself is the fact that nothing is region locked. Apparently games that are Chinese only, that are distributed in China only and produced by Tencent, allegedly, websites are stating that these games can't be played online. I do know that this game in China has been blocked online. There is no online connectivity for this game in China currently. But because my console's Nintendo online service is not Chinese, it's in the UK, I can play online. I can play this online, and I can play this online. So each game does work. They are pretty good games. The Nintendo Switch can play any game from anywhere as long as there is a translation for your region. You need to remember that. Make sure next time for the gentleman in question, make sure your internet connection's on. Make sure it's connected wirelessly, and it will reboot a couple of times in order to play the game. There is no issues currently, but, and I'm going to use the caveat of but, I will be ordering the other two games in question, Super Mario Odyssey and ordering Super Mario Kart Deluxe. I will try and find the Tencent version of these games so that I can basically test this theory. Apart from that, there's not really much else. This one's American, you can tell because it's got the G for general. We don't have that in the UK. You can tell this one's UK or European because it has the PEGI rating. And this one is Chinese because it has the Chinese rating there. But again, they're saying it's made in Taiwan, not actually made in China, but either way, it has the HK and the TW, so they could be right. But we will do part 2 of this video once I can get a hold of a Tencent game, because right now, a lot of sellers, for some reason, I thought when I bought this that this was going to be a Chinese version, a Tencent version. It doesn't seem to happen. But there's only 3 games in the Tencent gallery anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you that the Switch itself can play any game from any region as long as it can be translated. and that both the Chinese version of the Switch and the common version of the Switch work. So there you go. Have a great day, everybody. I hope you are having an amazing quarantine. If you are being quarantined, stay safe. And as always, this has been Michael Burhan from China and also from nerdgenius.com, letting you know that I've got gameplay. Have you?